This is the Dogecoin 1 month overview reading for the month of April 2023. It's currently March 1st, 2023, 11:56 p.m. Eastern Time. Dogecoin at the time of this reading is currently 0.08113, or just over 8 cents. And the shuffle file that we're about to play was created on February 24th, 2023 at 10:04 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. The overall theme and behavior for the month, we have a prominent move to the upside standing out on a 1 month chart, followed by a full retracement of that move. So it's almost like a triangular kind of shape on a chart. A big move higher and then a full retracement back down to where that big move higher started. That's crossed with like a really big move to the upside, standing out on a 1 month or maybe even a year-to-date chart. It's a move that you could say is almost like an irrational move higher, reaching for a distant resistance level. And then behavior around the highest high. So the type of chart behavior that we're going to be looking for as one of the criteria when in real time we're trying to determine if we've met the highest high for the month. We're going to want to see a significant decline off of the high, standing out on at least a 1 month chart, probably a year-to-date chart, and it'll be part of a crypto-wide decline. It won't just be a Dogecoin decline, but there'll be a lot of other coins that are declining at the same time. Behavior around the lowest low for the month, we successfully turn resistance into new support. So off of the lowest low, there's a move higher, breaking through resistance and turning it into new support. That's resistance and support on the scale of a 1 month chart at least. Let's take a look at the 1 year and see how that informs the reading. You know what? Before we even get there, let's do an accuracy check. So we have January here, the January cluster. We had a highest high at the end of January. It looks like we were off by like maybe 4 days. We were off by 4 days. This is on a 1 year scale, guys. We were off of a highest high. Thus far, it's the highest high, so we're accurate. We're off of the highest high by 4 days. The 2023 Dogecoin reading, the 1 year, was created on December 16th, 2022 at 10:26 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. All right, so that's pretty solid. We're about 4 days off, and I always say you got to give the 1 year's about a 2-week wiggle room. It'll usually be right on the ball, but there are points where it'll be like a wiggle room, right? In any case, there's a pretty sharp drop off of that high. You can see here. The low for the month of April, or excuse me, the low for the month of January it's at the bottom of a notable range. This is a range right here, and we came almost within the bottom. You could say the bottom of the range here, and that's represented here by the oppression card. February we had important resistance that we bump up against. We met it several times before and were unable to break through it. You can see that takes place in early February, and then there's an opportunity in the midst of a rally into the February high to open up a short position. That held true. The low for February was revisiting of a support level when we have a sharp dip within a period of sideways rotation. You could say that that's pretty solid as well. Revisited this price level, revisited it here, and then over here. So either way you want to read it. But the end of the month of February, there's an important technical price level of resistance that's highlighted. It's important on a 1 year scale. And you can see this price level here is pretty solid. I mean, over here and then over here, this is a pretty solid highlighted price level, if you will. So what we should see is a bit of a decline, probably on the cusp of February, March, And then out of the low of February, March, early in the month, there should be a notable move from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of the range. And then a big move off of the low to the downside, reaching for and establishing support, but it's support that can be relied upon. It's possible that we see the upper end of the range, like this price level, these price levels up here again, here in March. That remains to be seen, but that's March, right? So we haven't really got into March. We haven't got to March yet. We're just started. It's March 1st now, but where that leaves us off as being informed into April. There's the shuffle file completed. So early in the month, there's a rally that offers an opportunity to open up a short position. What's interesting is that it could very well be the same price level. There's a good shot that it's the same price level as here, because these two really do cards correlate so strongly to each other, and it would be like off of a significant low. So this probably holds as like a support level at the end of March, and there's a big move off of it to the high here. I'm advised to be cautious towards the end of the month of March. There's a key technical price level on a scale of a multi-year chart of importance at the high for April, and multiple false tops towards the end of the month. There's also a key technical price level around the low of April. My sense is that the Two of Swords and the Four of Swords correlate. We've already established just in this reading by the review, the end of February was this important price level. We could call this price level here roughly the 8-cent mark, give or take a little bit. We could call that the truce and peace price level. So the low of April should be roughly this price level here of 8 cents. And then we should move significantly to the upside early in the month. Yeah, there's some tricky behavior in there towards the end of the month. Multiple false tops, but there's probably a little bit of like a back and forth going on. But that'll help to inform us when we're looking at the actual 1 month, right? So what we have here is out of a low on the 1st, we move significantly higher over like that first 7 days into like a highest high on the 5th and the 6th, 7th. And then we retrace that move back down to a low around the 17th or the 9th, most likely the 19th. Out of which there's another big move to the upside. And it looks like probably some false tops here. Maybe a highest high on the 25th as well. Hard to determine if the 25th is higher than the 5th. It's possible that it's the second highest high for the month. I think probably the second highest high for the month. No. Probably the same, actually. It seems like it's probably the same high price level. So most likely the same price level here. There's some back and forth going on in any case. What's important to point out also is that there's some cross time frame correlations or congruencies. We have an Ace of Wands here on the 1 year. We have Ace of Wands at the beginning of the month. That's significant. Usually that's my sense is that that's the top. It's very toppy. And then we also have the Truce card, which has some correlations, or excuse me, the Peace card has some correlations here, as well as over here, and over here. It's near low, so we might end up in like a pretty notable low right on the 30th. We go from a high to a low or something like that. But I think the prominent move higher followed by the full retracement's really like out of this low here on the 1st into like this high on the 5th through the 7th, and then we retrace it back down to the same lows on the 17th or more likely on the 19th. The biggest move, that Lust card, that big move takes place moving into the high here on the 6th, 7th. That's the big Lust move reaching for distant resistance, so look out for that. All right, so on the first, we have out of a decline. There's the end of a decline marked by a fast, sudden move higher towards the end of the day on the first, or possibly on the cusp of into the second. But that's after a sharp. It looks like there's probably a sharp decline, a one-day decline. Let's take a look at March real quick. So we kind of like come into this choppy behavior here. This is a bullish opportunity. My sense is that this is probably a pretty strong drop. The unicursal, there's a strong drop here, but we go bullish. So a strong drop into like a lowest low or a first main low. And then we rally with like some sideways fluctuating rally through the second into the third. On the third, there's a period of volatility and a sharp drop that stands out in that period of volatility, followed by on the fifth, it looks like we attempt to break through key resistance, probably that we attempted to break through on the second as well. Let me see. Yeah, probably on the second. And it's followed by a decline through key support there on the both a failed attempt on the fourth and a decline through key support on the fourth. But the following day of the fifth, we actually have such a big move that we push the upper end of a range higher when we have a highest high here on the fifth. Likely revisit that highest high on at the end of the day on the sixth or on the seventh. I think most likely the end of the day on the sixth, because it does look like in between like this crest at the end of the day on the third, there's a trough here on the fourth, and then another crest on the fifth, right into the highest high. So some choppy behavior going on there. I think I saw some choppy behavior over these first few days in a lot of the crypto readings. And also, guys, there's a ton of trade opportunities on the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. There's a day trade opportunity on the sixth, a day trade opportunity on the seventh. I'll get into detail into the trades that I see, the best trades for the month of April in the paid version. And guys, if you're interested in the paid version, it's really a great way to support the channel. The way that you do that is you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, click on Eso-Meta Forecasts. Click here for your forecast. Type the ticker in. So in the case, this would be for Doge, but you could put in any ticker you want. It doesn't need to be crypto, or it could be a stock, it could be a commodity. Point is, add that to cart and sign up, and that supports the channel. It's a recurring thing, and there's only 4 spots left, guys. We're gonna raise the price of this monthly subscription to $249 a month. After another 4 people subscribe at the $111 price. So if you've been thinking about it, I would highly recommend taking care of that relatively soon. These things are going really fast, my friends, really fast. Like a week and a half ago, it was $29, or maybe 2 weeks ago it was $29. It's gonna be $249 after 4 more subscribers. And you guys are great. The people that subscribe really help out the channel, but that's the best way to go about it, guys. All right, so back to April. All right, so on the 9th, there's a key technical resistance level. I think it's probably out at the end of the day on the 6th. Maybe we see it again on the 7th, but I think probably the end of the day on the 6th is key technical resistance level on a 1-month scale at least. And we decline with from there on the 7th with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. We see a prominent trough. And a trade opportunity there at the end of the day on the 7th. Looks like we established sound, at least momentarily, it's support that can be relied upon here on the 8th, 9th, probably the end of the day on the 8th. Trade opportunity there, and then there's a big move after establishing support, a big move to the upside standing out on a 1-month chart there on the 9th, with a breakout towards the end of the day and a crest there, prominent crest. There at the beginning of the day on the 10th. Guys, if you're interested in what all these colors and symbols mean, this is Eso-Meta analysis. It's a way of being able to visually read patterns. everything, all the colors, all the shapes, everything has meaning, even the translucent versus the filled in and the not filled in. If you're interested in learning about that, guys, you can get basically the intro in our ebook, which you can get on the website tarotfortraders.com. It's currently on sale for $33. Normally $55. It's the only book of its kind. There's 3 other ones that you could say are in the same category. None of them were written by somebody that came from the finance industry like myself. And that's very, very noticeable. With that said, let's continue. So on the 10th, there's a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance to meet secondary resistance, and then fall back to somewhere between those 2 price levels with kind of a sharp dip. We have another prominent trough at the beginning of the day on the 11th, and a period of volatility there on the 11th that ends with a fast sudden move higher, taking us into a crest, a prominent crest on the 12th. Looks like we decline off of that prominent crest pretty notably there. The following day of the 13th, early in the morning, we open at a crest, and then there's a lot of price movement to the upside there. A lot of price movement to the upside there on the 13th. Bringing us from a prominent trough in the morning to a prominent crest in the afternoon, or we should say the following day, and then again down. So a crest in the morning, followed by a trough somewhere between the cusp of the 14th and 15th, or just on the 15th. A lot of choppiness here between like the 12th and the 15th there, but a pretty notable trade opportunity. We declined on the 15th through a support level on a 1-month scale that we recently declined through once before. Probably we declined through it on the 12th, the 11th or the 12th. Alright, so there's a brief peak that's easily missed there, either on the 15th or the 16th. A brief peak that's easily missed, followed by a notable decline on a 1-month scale through multiple support levels, bringing us to a prominent low, or possibly a lowest low. I think it's close to a lowest low here on the 17th, after notable decline through multiple support levels taking place over the 16th and the 17th. There's a speech that comes out towards the end of the day on the 17th. Whatever that speech is about, or that person's speaking, it's something that can be trusted. There's 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level on the 18th, and then a lowest low there on the 19th. We probably see the lowest low on the 17th and the 19th, but most likely on the 19th if I had to pick one of them. There's an unexpected move to the upside on the 19th, or we should say like the 19th, 20th. From out of oversold territory, severely oversold territory. Might even be like a short squeeze there on the 20th, but a significant move to the upside and a breakout, with a bit of a decline on the cusp of the 20th and the 21st, but that decline is short-lived. There's another big move to the upside, even though people are expecting us to go lower. We continue higher into another prominent crest or peak on the 22nd. Trade opportunity there, and then on the 23rd there's an important range on a 1-month scale that's highlighted. Looks like it's probably the upper end of a range. It's the bottom end of a range. It's the bottom end of a range. Interesting there on the 23rd that's highlighted. On the 24th, after establishing support at the bottom end of that range, there's a significant move higher standing out on a 1-month chart. At the end of which, towards the end of the day there on the 24th, we established support at a higher level, where we may very well see another highest high. There's a revisiting of a support level there on the 24th, 25th, a revisiting of a support level in a period of sideways rotation. And there is a sharp drop off of that sideways rotation, but it's the revisiting of a support level that was recently a past opportunity. It's very likely that that's a highest high again revisited. And then the following day we sell off from an overbought peak or crest. We sell down to the in the 26th. Attempt to reestablish support on the 27th. looks like there's a little bit of a move to the upside between the 27th and the 28th. We do have what appears to be a crest early in the day on the 28th, followed by a prominent trough on the 28th, or possibly on the 29th, along a key support level that's important on a 1 month scale. There's an improbable move on the 29th. Looks like a lot of ground is covered price-wise on the 29th. A lot of ground is covered, so it looks like a trade from the 28th into the 30th is probably well advised. Or actually, morning of the 29th, there might be a good trade there. Again, we'll get into that in the paid version. On the 30th, we have a sideways fluctuating decline to a prominent trough for the month, and that decline does precede a rally. Sneak preview for the following month: a failed attempt to break through key resistance, already established resistance, followed by a sharp decline through key support level. Guys, that's Dogecoin for April 2023. Do not forget to follow the rule of karma. So important if you plan to profit from this information. Really, you must. It's a karmic rule in tune with this channel. A successful trade is profiting from this information and donating 5% of that profit back to the channel here at PayPal, Cash App. 5% of the profit is minuscule compared to what a stockbroker would take, which is like 5 to 6% of the total investment, whether or not you make money. And then 5% of the profits, pay it forward to one of these charities, guys. Make sure you're doing good. As long as you're doing good, the universe is going to allow you to keep profiting from this information. And not to mention, you spend that money out of love, the universe will send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. Stay tuned if you got the paid version. We're going to get into those best trades momentarily. I'll see you guys on the next one.